celebrate. Whoops, woo! There's a party going on right here, a celebration to last throughout the year. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gonna celebrate the resurrection with you. Come on now. Woo-hoo! Sorry, I know that was kind of uncool, but I just wanted to let you know that it's a time to celebrate. It's Resurrection Sunday, and, well, it's not for me right now because I am recording this the day before. But it's Resurrection Sunday for you, and I think it's time to celebrate. It's time to get excited. It's time to say, wow, this is amazing. Jesus not only died, not only did he suffer, not only was he buried, but on the third day he rose again. And this is true. This is not just a religious thing that we kind of pretend to believe. We really believe this. Let me give you 4 little things. This is not original with me, but I've read this and heard others use this little way of remembering why we can really be completely convinced of the historical accuracy of the recording of the New Testament as it relates to the resurrection of Jesus. 4 things that start with 4. There you go. 4. 4 E words. Words that start with the letter E. The first one is execution. That is to say that Jesus of Nazareth really was executed by the Romans. We know this even through extra-biblical sources that are not even in any dispute, that speak of a man named Jesus of Nazareth who was executed at the hands of the Roman government, specifically under the jurisdiction and the rulership, I guess, or governance of someone named Pontius Pilate. This is a man whose name is scrawled in stone right back during the 1st century, and archaeologists actually have this on record. So Pontius Pilate was honestly, really a real historical figure, and the extra biblical sources do really say that Jesus was indeed executed. He was not just kind of beat up and then allowed to pretend like he was dead or swoon somehow because he was just badly beaten, but somehow survived the crucifixion. No, Romans were really good at killing people. They were experts at it. And they made absolutely sure that Jesus was dead before his body was taken off of the cross. He was crucified, for crying out loud. There's no way you survive a crucifixion, not like what he endured. And so he really did die. But secondly, here's the second E. There was an empty tomb, and this is an undisputed fact. That tomb was empty. There's a reason why there was this idea that was noised abroad that he really did rise from the dead. The tomb is empty, and no one was able to provide any kind of alternate explanation for why that tomb was empty. No one then, and no one now. The best they could come up with was the idea that somehow the body was stolen away. But the thing is, his body was under guard, under Roman guard, and even Pontius Pilate put his signet ring, pressed it into wax, made a Roman seal across that heavy stone that was pushed over the entrance of Joseph of Arimathea's borrowed tomb. And so the penalty for breaking that line was death. There was a Roman guard that was posted there. Those scared 12 disciples were no match for trained killers, as well as those who knew that their life was on the line if in any way that line, that seal was compromised. So we know Jesus was executed. Number 2, we know the tomb was empty. Miraculously, somehow that tomb was empty on Resurrection Sunday. Thirdly, we know that there were eyewitnesses. And these eyewitnesses range from those who believed in Jesus and who he was, as well as those who were confused about who he was, and even those who did not believe him, like the Apostle Paul, even his own brother James. Jesus appeared to him post-resurrection, and about 500 people at once. So there were multiple eyewitnesses. And the fact that the New Testament records that women were the first ones at the tomb and the first ones to be able to see that Jesus was risen, the first ones to be able to publicly testify to this, is in and of itself an embarrassment to first century people. They would not have made that up. If they were making up some kind of myth and they were trying to advance some sort of mythological idea, they were trying to get people to believe in a resurrection, and they were just kind of lying about this, they would not have had women be the ones that found this. You've probably heard this before, that a woman's testimony in the first century in Jewish courts was not even admissible. Even an eyewitness account that was from a woman. That was a sexist thing that went on at that time. They would not allow women to even testify in a court of law. It wasn't considered trustworthy. So they would not, the New Testament writers who were men would not have done that, would not have written women into this story. So this is another reason to believe these eyewitness accounts. Fourthly and finally, the emergence of the early church. The fact that this went viral. This is not something that built casually. The church just exploded and has been exploding and expanding ever since then, and it will continue to do so. Why? Because Jesus really did rise from the dead, and if Jesus really did rise from the dead, then he is divine. The scriptures are true. Heaven is your home if you know Jesus as your Savior, and all is well because his promises are sure and true. If he is able to rise from the dead, that means he can do anything, and he can do what you need today. So God bless you. Happy Resurrection Day, and go celebrate. God bless you.